Hey guys, Coach Ben here, bigbenchas.com. I'm here with Tommy Matthews. And Tommy last week, he threw on a bench shirt for the first time. So I figured this would be an interesting opportunity for those of you who might be thinking about trying on a bench shirt, trying to train with a bench shirt, how it might feel. You might hear Tommy Matthews give some insight on that because he's only used it once, guys. So he's brand new to this, just like all of you thinking about getting in the bench shirt. So I know I get the questions a lot. How does it feel? You know, is it similar to a slingshot? And just what to expect when you're in the bench shirt versus raw lifting or even with a slingshot. So Tommy Matthews got in the shirt last week. How did it feel? What were your expectations at first with the bench shirt, and then how did it feel getting it on and actually benching with it?
Well, the biggest difference was you think it's going to be loose like a slingshot, or it's going to be it's going to have
a lot of
give, yeah, and there's absolutely no give with it. The whole time that you're in that bench shirt, especially pulling down, it's just super tight. You're getting choked out if you're doing the wrong thing.
Now you have a longer range of motion than most, I'd say. I have a really short range, so things aren't super tough for me like they are for someone that's way out here. But you have a little bit of a longer range, so you gotta travel a good ways. So how's that compression feel coming down? Very different than a slingshot. Not gonna feel anything like a slingshot. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna come down easy. You're actually struggling until we got some more weight on it. You probably won't be able to even get close to your chest without at least your max effort type weight on a raw bench. Until you get to about that weight, you probably aren't gonna get that bar very close to your chest. You had a looser shirt and you're still saying it's tight, mm-hmm. and he was able to actually get down with about a plate, which is, that's a loose shirt. So just talk about how that felt. You actually handled more than your raw bench. Mm-hmm. Right? How does that feel coming down? Where's it digging into you and stuff?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's digging in right across the top of the chest. Yeah, like where the collar comes down nice and low, almost like right below or between your pecs. It's kind of choking you out, so right at that diaphragm level. Like Benny said, I couldn't even get the shirt down or get the bar down unless I had 225 on the bar, and my max is about 245 pounds to begin with.
So if you're learning, you're gonna probably work up to close to your raw max, and then probably work down in the boards. We had you just go to chest because you had a looser shirt, mm-hmm. but boards are gonna be critical when you're in the shirt just because you're not going to be able to really get down that far in the shirt. Or when you're learning, it's best to just kind of get that groove in a shorter range. That's why you see a lot of the quick lifters doing board work, just for the fact that they're trying not to stretch your shirt too, because you're stretching the material as you're coming down. But it's easier to learn the groove when you're not going through a huge range of motion. All right. And speaking of technique with the shirt, versus a raw bench, a shirt is going to be very different technique-wise, kind of like how a slingshot would change your groove a little bit. But why don't you talk a little bit about the technique of it? With the raw bench, probably the biggest thing you got to get over with the raw bench, you're more up and down, I would say. And then with the shirt, it's a much more extreme angle. So you could be touching all the way down near your belly and then finishing up over your shoulders versus touching low sternum and not having to throw back too far. The shirt, very different groove. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the shirt's so tight, you can't really come out down here per se. You have to really drop it down and drop your elbows, almost like you're creating like a V with your arm.
You're gonna have to probably over tuck, because raw, we talk about alignment. You're probably not going to be aligned when you're benching in the shirt, just because you have to have such an extreme tuck as you're coming down. You take the wider grips, you don't have to travel as far to stretch the material better. And then when you're getting down, you're probably going to look something like this at the bottom if you have a long range to go. And then as you drive up, you really have to throw that bar back, flare the elbows out, and finish. So probably the biggest thing was that technique-wise.
Yeah, flaring the elbows out, which is usually a big no-no in raw bench, that's a big one. being that the suit catches you at the diaphragm, the belly breathing versus chest breathing.
I was gonna say the air is very different. It's gonna be a much longer process getting that bar down. So you're not gonna have as much time, or you're gonna have to hold your breath for more time. So you're not just gonna be able to get down with the bar quick like a raw bench. You're gonna have to breathe in at the top, and you're gonna have to train yourself to hold your air longer. It's a trainable thing. When I started the shirt, I had a very hard time with this, getting the air in and actually holding it, but it is a very trainable trait. So how'd you like it, Tommy Matthews? You like the shirt? Would you do it again?
Yeah, overall I would do it again. It's very different than raw, and it's just refreshing to kind of throw on some more weight and learn a totally different technique.
Yeah, so there you have a little bit of insight if you're interested in getting a bench shirt. If you don't know where to begin, probably single ply is a good learning place just because you have less material to fight through. It's just one layer. So a good single ply shirt, Super Katana is one of the best by Titan. The Rage X by Inzer, that's something I actually started out in. Pretty much any single ply shirt you can get your hands on, that's probably gonna be your best bet just to learn. But there's nothing wrong with getting a nice multi-ply shirt too. You're gonna learn either way. It's just gonna be a little bit different of a learning curve. You might have to practice a little longer. And guys, practice makes perfect. Try it on. It's not for everyone. Before you go and spend a lot of money, because they are a lot, try to see if you could get one used, or if someone in your gym has one that you could try on. Even if it's loose, then try it on, see how you like it, because it's not for everyone. It's gonna cut into you. You're gonna have to get used to bruises. That's perfectly normal in a shirt. So, you got bruises last time?
Yeah, I popped an eye.
Popped his eye. I blow my eye every time.
Yeah.
All right, so not for everyone, guys, but there's some good insight for you. Hopefully, try it out. I think it's really fun. I'm Coach Ben. That's Tommy Matthews. You know where to find us?
At the bench.
On the bench.